We live. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to that We Got Action podcast. This is going to be episode 46 coming at y'all with the NBA special. And like we promised last week, we got all four of us. We got Danny up top, Isaac on the bottom, Johnny Sins to my right. We coming in hot right now. So let's go.
Johnny Sins?
We jumping straight in. NBA playoffs. NBA playoff action. Isaac. Get yourself together, my guy. Get yourself together, my guy. NBA playoff action started. What was that? Thursday was the first games? No,
Yeah,
Friday was the
man.
first. I think
Friday
was the first games.
Was Friday the first game? Or was
Yeah,
it
because the
last
playoffs
play?
were Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm gonna just start off top. We're starting in the East. We're starting in order. The way they got on this article, just so I can keep everything organized for us. But the first game, there's no. This game is not played till tomorrow. But the Heat and the Bucks, the Miami Heat ended up taking game one by a score of 130 to 117. They're up 1-0. That's big because they stole it on Milwaukee's home court.
Yeah.
So now they have home court, barring Milwaukee stealing one back. But Giannis went out. Supposedly MRIs were negative.
Yeah,
He's
he's doubtful for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
he'll play. And
Yeah,
then
he'll
Tyler
practice.
Hero broke his hand, so he's probably not playing the rest of the playoffs.
4 to
Yeah,
6
he's out
weeks.
4 to 6 weeks.
They
Yeah,
can make a
that's-
finals
Yeah.
run and he can be there, but
We'll see. He's probably out the rest of their playoff run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we see the rest of the series going like?
If
Bucks are
Giannis, yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
Giannis doesn't come back, at least in the next game or two, I could see Miami up maybe 2-0, but then I can see Milwaukee going down there and easily sweeping it right back and taking
Yeah.
two right back at them. So it's,
I
I
think
think they can still win the series though without Giannis, in my opinion. I
yeah,
still
no,
think
they're
they
very
can.
good. They were very good all season without Giannis, which was
Yeah.
one of the things that was hurting his MVP case.
Mhm.
But I agree with you guys. I think the reason they ended up losing that game one, the Heat were hot off a real good game against Chicago,
Yep.
Yep.
fortunately. And then I think Milwaukee had obviously game planned around having Giannis for 4 quarters. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
tough to turn on a dime and have to
The-
play without him.
Yeah,
So
and
The
I mean,
one
they were-
positive of it though was Chris Middleton scoring 33. I think that
Yeah.
was a very good sign for
Yes.
them, even though they lost the game.
Drew
Like, they
Drew was
needed
actually offensively struggled a lot. He actually had a pretty bad game in general
Mhm.
overall.
that. Yeah.
But again, I think if they plan around not having Giannis, we might see a totally
Yeah.
different. They're a very good team.
Yeah.
Not
And
just
they-
they're not
but
just
most of them have
Giannis.
been there for years already. So
Yeah,
like, there's a
so
lot
they
of
got a
chemistry, a
system.
lot of understanding. And
Mhm.
I mean, they don't play again until Saturday for game 3.
Yeah.
So,
So I think
if
Giannis,
Giannis,
will be back by then.
if Giannis
big
sits,
break.
if Giannis sits tomorrow, but he'll be back game 3. I don't
Right.
see this series really. I think if Miami needs to
If
take
Miami
tomorrow's
wins
game-
tomorrow, I go 7.
yeah. But other than
I
that,
would
if-
say
if-
so.
If anything else, I don't see it getting past 6.
Yeah, 100%.
If
I agree.
if Milwaukee
Well-
can take a win tomorrow, I don't see them getting more.
I
Than
think
one more
I
out of
think
it.
they'll split here. They probably will split again.
Mhm.
Milwaukee probably wins at home in 5, steals it in 6. 6 or 7's pretty fair.
It's still possible. I
thing-
mean, they still play well without Giannis, but that's just me.
Yeah, but can they defend the 3 better, bro?
I mean, they
Well,
were
listen,
hot
he-
I mean,
too.
Bucks?
Tyler Hero's out now, so I
That's
mean
the
they're
best.
gonna
That's
be.
the best the Heat have shot the 3 in how long?
Probably
That's
3
a
years.
one.
then you gotta think about-
That's the best they're gonna shoot the 3 that whole series. I guarantee
Exactly.
you that. I guarantee
Do
you.
you
that.
think Kevin Love can change the series though?
No.
Hell no.
Unless
Dude,
Maybe
only
5
if he-
years ago?
Only if he shoots the way he did in game 1
He has
every
to not
single
miss
game.
every single game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's just not realistic.
That's not. That's
No.
you're 40% for a reason.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
also gonna
You're gonna miss shots.
soon enough. You're gonna have to be dealing with Giannis driving into you and throwing elbows and shit. And it's not as much as Kevin Love is good to take a couple charges in a game.
Milwaukee's a much
gonna
better
feel them.
3-point shooting team, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They had the down game.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
And
I
still
don't.
only
Yeah,
lost
I
by
don't think they're gonna
13.
shoot 11 for 45. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna shoot 11 for 45.
Yeah,
from
well,
three.
Well, how you
Yeah.
go? So how you gonna say that Kevin Love might change the
I just
dynamic?
asked- I
He
can
was-
pose the
He
question.
was just poking. He was just poking.
Poking? Let me poke a little bit. Damn.
I mean, if anything, Max Strus can.
Johnny
change the
Sins
series,
knows a
but
thing or
that's
two
it,
about
bro.
poking.
Don't talk about Maxwell Struess like that.
Hey, he ain't playing like
Dog.
that again. The
Maxwell
way he did
Struess can
against
put
the
for
Bulls.
them men's career average more than
Against
doubles
the
against
Bulls.
the
Someone
Bulls.
call
Crazy.
911 because
All right.
Struess is on.
We're
fucking
jumping
fire.
into the next game. Do we have an update on that one? So the next series is
Cavs up
Boston
20.
and Atlanta, 2-7.
Ooh, 14 point.
Yeah, I mean, are we all sticking with a sweep here? I think I
Yup,
probably
yup,
had,
17 points.
Yeah,
I had,
I don't think
I
Atlanta
had a
was supposed.
sweep
Yeah,
before the first
Yeah, I
two
got a
Yeah.
sweep.
games.
yeah, it's a
Maybe they steal
st-
one at home, but Boston's, again, they
No.
defend as a unit when they got Tatum or Brown going or both.
I don't. Yeah, I still don't think what's supposed to
Derek
make it
White
out the damn
going.
play-in.
Derek White, well, I mean, we know he can go.
yeah.
Yeah, I
we know
don't think
he can
Atlanta was
go.
supposed to make it out the play-in, in my
No.
opinion.
They got lucky.
No.
No,
Yeah, they
Miami
got
screwed
lucky.
that
A
up.
hot
They got
night.
lucky.
You like the script was meant for them to lose that night. They just turned it around.
Yeah.
Like you
No,
even
if they
announced
had-
to trade before the game. Like
Yeah. If they
Right,
had
yeah.
lost that first game against Miami,
They
they
would've
would have lost in the second game.
To us.
Yeah.
Correct.
I just
I
don't
agree with that.
They have I think they had one good shooting night and Miami had a terrible, they just worked terrible. Right. They just
Yeah.
came out the gates flat.
Trey
And-
ain't been playing the way he played the first half of the season.
No.
No.
DeJounte looks good, but I don't
And-
know. I just don't
right.
trust the rest of the team. I just think if you go position for position, Boston beats them in every spot.
Yeah.
So
Clears
I mean,
them.
yeah,
Clears.
4, 5 on maybe an off shooting night.
Yeah, they
But
got-
again, I think Boston's so deep that if Tatum or we know Brown still has the cut on his hand.
Yeah.
Saying maybe he's struggling with grip, but
Mhm.
I mean,
They'll be
Derek White
alright, though.
obviously is
He's
showing
strugg-
up tonight,
Jalen Brown's struggling with the grip
and
and
he's
he
got what 20 something
got
today.
and no that let me check. He's got
keep scoring though.
18 on
18 right
14
now.
shots. And look at last game. He
Bet.
put up like 30 something. Was it 30?
He did.
Hmm.
Yeah, he all right. We not
They're
worried
a
about the
dangerous
game.
team.
No.
That
Next
Hawks
one,
team is just too
Another one I
discombobulated.
think
Oh,
is going to
man.
be interesting. Probably another sweep. Sixers and Nets.
Hey, the Nets are making it look like a fight though.
I
Are
think
they?
Nets actually
Yeah.
I
Are
think
they?
Nets get one. I think the Nets
Yeah,
get this next
because-
game at
I
home.
mean, I don't know if they don't. I don't know if
He's-
they get a game, but they're making it. They're at least. It doesn't feel the
They're
same way that the
fighting-
Celtics series is feeling.
I would disagree. I disagree.
I think they're keeping.
I think-
it close
no, 'cause
for
the
other
But think
games-
teams.
right, but now they lost by 20. They lost by 12.
Yeah,
You've got back-to-back double-digit
But-
losses, but you're saying they're keeping it close.
it
Like,
just they're
it
keeping it
doesn't
close to
feel
the
But
close
for-
to
majority.
what
okay.
I watched.
And
So for me though, the reason why I feel like he feels like it's feel close, is I feel like it's close, is that it's the fucking fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like they walking into the fourth quarter being in the game, and then they're not making enough shots down the stretch
mhm.
to compete with. They're not.
Yeah, they're going into the fourth quarter.
They were-
I mean,
before
got
they lost by
they
12,
just got
they were-
blown out in the third quarter, and they were losing by double digits going into the fourth. The last game.
That was game one. Game four, they was in the game in the fourth quarter, and then they lost the game.
That this series feels like a sweep. To
It's
me.
gonna be a sweep, but
It's
They're
not, I
not
feel
think
like
this
it's gonna be a
feels
sweep
close at all.
because you watching Brooklyn like legit closing gaps, and they can't get past the hump because you
Yeah.
just can't. Because
Well,
Tobias is playing out of this world right now.
it felt kind of like the
It's true.
championship game. Like anytime SDSU made a run to come back and make it a close game, then UConn would then go back and ramp up the lead. That's
That's
kind of
what
how
it
it
feels
feels
like.
this year
I think
on the series.
from what I saw, the first half of the second game was probably the best basketball that Brooklyn can play, and they were only up by 4 or 5 points at halftime.
Yeah, can't.
And that was with the Sixers shooting the ball terribly. The
That's
third
true.
quarter is how the second half is realistically how
Mhm.
I expected the Sixers to play. But I mean,
Mhm.
I don't agree with you guys.
I see a
This
sweep.
is-
I just think it's a little bit more interesting than the Hawks series.
I
Hawks and
disagree. If you're
Celtics.
calling it a sweep, I don't think it's close. That's me.
But
I'm
if
just,
it's
I'm
gonna
just
be
saying. I'm just
Nah,
saying.
yeah.
It's more entertaining than this Boston
Yes,
series
because of the
has been.
Sixers.
Like it, yeah, I
mean, you
expect
can-
Ain't got
I
nothing to do
expect
with-
Brooklyn to get a game before the Hawks ever get a game in this
Yeah.
series right now. I'll say that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Brooklyn's playing better than Atlanta right now. in
Yeah,
my
and they don't
opinion.
have a
That's
two-
where
like-
I'm coming from.
Yeah, and Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn has some clear like roster flaws, right? I think
Mhm.
when
they
they
have nobody to guard Embiid.
yeah, that's been a problem. They never had anybody to guard bigs like that. Claxton's a great shot blocker, but his individual defense, he's not big or strong enough to hold some of these guys. They don't have somebody that can create their own shot.
Yeah.
And that's been a problem. Cam Thomas obviously can do that. Jacques Vaughn was asked about it after the game. He said that he thought that they were getting good looks, just weren't making them. And that if he
Their
thought
looks,
that they
they're
weren't,
just playing. They're just shooting threes.
Yeah,
they're
they're
not
just-
getting
they're
good
just-
looks. They're
yeah,
just shooting
yeah.
threes.
it's just drive, kick.
It's
drive,
Cam Johnson in the
kick.
corner. It's Bridges on the wing. It's Dinwiddie trying to get to his mid range.
Yeah.
They're not getting good looks at all.
No.
So, and
Shout out to
sometimes-
Cam
And they
Johnson,
can't
though. He
play
dunked on Embiid.
defense. And they can't
did
play
jump.
defense because
out
they
to my
just
boy
double
Cam.
Embiid and then give a wide open three to any Sixer shooter.
Yeah.
And they are very capable of making it.
Yeah, Jacques
Yeah.
Vaughn is now 0-6
Or
as a head
Embiid's
coach
just going
in the
crazy
playoffs.
on anybody.
So
Well, look who he coached though.
yeah, but I mean, it's clearly
I
he's not
can't hold that.
adjusting in this series at least. But yeah, this one's
this,
over.
this took way
Uh,
longer. Y'all
Yeah.
tripping. Knicks and Cavs. Knicks and Cavs. This is a series. Now y'all
This
can say
is-
it's close.
This is.
Yeah,
I
is
think
a
you're right.
series.
Okay. I'm
This one to
sorry,
me-
Chiefs.
It's
This
not
one
close
to
right
me
now.
No, the Cavs should. Yeah. Yep. And that's
This
what I
one to me-
expected.
That's what I expect.
This is
Yeah.
what I expected. I was very surprised when the Knicks stole one.
This one at
This is
least
what
to
I
me
was
is gonna go
expecting.
7. I sense
Uh-oh.
I sense a 6 to 7 gamer here.
I got
Yeah.
Cav. I'm gonna go Cavs in 6.
I agree.
got
I
Cavs
think
in
I
6
think
or
we had a
7.
really poor game, which I mean, V&V's talked about it. It's gonna be a tough series for an Evan Mobley,
Yeah.
but I think you had a really poor game from him. I don't know what his stats are, if he's stepping up any.
He's at your
probably-
favorite number. He's got 8 points midway through the third.
Hey, he had 6 in the second, so he's still stinking.
Yeah.
But I think DG's taking the role this game.
Yeah, and I mean Mitch is only
At 11.
Yeah, he's got
11.
11 on 7 shots,
And
8
he had
assists.
what 30 plus the first
Yeah,
game.
So he's taking
Yeah.
the playmaker role today, which I mean it's probably good, right? They probably keyed in on him. Obviously we
Yeah,
can't
for
watch
sure.
right now.
But that's what's
also-
so
Yeah.
scary about them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, but also too, I think what I was watching prior to this our episode starting was that the way that the Cavs are playing game 2 right now is the way they should have came out in game 1.
Mhm. I
Like
we
right
see
now,
that-
I'm watching Darius Garland before I came here take charges on Jalen Brunson. I'm watching Jared Allen be more physical with his screens. to
Yeah,
make
they're
sure
not
Jalen
letting the
Brunson-
Knicks take control of the game and slow
or
the
like
pace
dictate how
down.
the game's supposed
Yeah.
to be.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm like. That's what I'm liking. Like right now, you have Jalen Brunson struggling with he's 5 for 14. Julius Randle is struggling, but this is going to be one of them series.
He's
where we going
he's still
Cavs.
hurt though. I think Drew's still hurt. He's still feeling
Yeah.
that. I think.
He messed
Yeah,
his
he's
arm up
gotta
right
be,
before I
bro.
came down.
Yeah. He's got to be at least a little banged up, especially from the ankle standpoint.
Yeah, I think
it's-
100%.
Yeah.
If the Cavs can focus on not letting Brunson
Mhm.
slow the pace down and get this into a half court, because the Cavs are real good up and down,
Yeah.
but yet they can also
Yeah.
play in a half court. Yeah, I see the Cavs pulling it, but again, if
The
I
Knicks
mean
win,
the
I wouldn't be
Knicks, the
surprised.
Knicks have the guys to do it, but we got to just.
100%.
I just think it's been another year where they maybe just don't have enough experience, maybe again. I know how to win yet. You know,
Yeah.
what
I just
mean?
don't think
feel
they're
like
deep- I just
bringing
don't
in
think they're deep
Donovan
enough.
Mitchell was huge.
They're not deep enough.
They're not.
and
To me, they're like
No.
they're deep, but not playoff deep. To where Tom Thibodeau would like it, as we all know, type of thing.
Mhm.
That's at least
Yeah,
to me.
I
I
get
think
what you're
they have
saying.
the pieces to at least get like if they went on a good run. I think they could obviously get to the conference finals because of their defense and how
Mhm.
good their defense can be. But he's gonna be literally running them to the ground this series, and I
Yeah,
think
right,
that's gonna
right, right.
cost them when it comes to game 6 or 7. Gonna see their legs go because
Yeah.
he's probably gonna again go down to probably by game 6 and 7 he might just go to a 6-man rotation with Josh Hart just coming off the bench. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean
That is
quickly.
not
I
wrong.
mean, that's
Quickly's only got 7 minutes in this game. They're halfway through
that's
the
the
third.
thing I'm
Like
talking
my
about.
this
That's
game
the
won.
issue
That's
right there.
terrible.
This guy won
Mhm.
games for them towards the end of the year when they were not healthy.
Exactly.
And
And Josh
he's-
Hart was banged up heading into this game. I think
Yeah.
you have to get quickly. Quickly shouldn't be playing 7 minutes after somebody just got hurt last
Yep.
game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hart saw 17 minutes off the bench for today,
Yeah.
putting him in close to the lowest starters, which are
But
But that's the
special
thing.
teams,
So
Rob.
so Josh Hart's come off the bench, Emmanuel Quickly, and who else? That's it. I'd assume Isaiah Hartenstein.
Hartenstein's got
Hartenstein
10
and Obi
minutes and
Toppin.
Toppin's got 6 minutes.
See, but then that's still the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't even consider Quickly and Obi to be even good minutes. So it's like they're
That's a
probably not
breather,
like
No,
yeah,
they,
bro,
they
that's
got
a
one. They got
breather.
one stretch probably towards the
Yeah,
end of the
that's-
first into the second to give the guys a breather, and then
that's
right
it.
back out.
But that's the
Yep.
thing. It comes down to it's a trust thing with Thibodeau. Like if you don't show him, like you could show him in the season, and Quickly, I thought proved himself to where they can at least expand to maybe an 8-9 man rotation. That's what I was expecting. But
Right.
it's just the same thing. We can even obviously we'll talk about it at least to me with Jordan Poole. Like he's been massively disappointing, but we'll talk about that once we get over to the Western Conference. But it's the same thing to me and all that. But Cavs a 6.
I'll take
Yeah,
Cavs
I
in
like
6 too.
Cavs
I
in
like
6.
Cavs in 6.
I like Cavs in 6.
Western Conference, the 1-8 matchup, Denver and Minnesota.
I got
Denver handedly took game 1 by
Mhm.
almost 30. Jokic had kind of a mediocre game. Jamal Murray really answered some questions.
Mhm.
Yes.
Again, it's a weaker opponent, but I think for a lot of Denver fans, it was comforting to see Jamal Murray really take control of that game.
And he was feisty too. That little moment with him and Kyle
Yeah,
Anderson.
for
Like
sure.
you haven't seen
And that's
that
how
fire
Kyle
in a while.
Anderson's like that. He's kind of that, chippy player.
Mhm. I mean, this
But-
one, I mean, Ant is hurt. I think he's hurt than
I got
more
you,
so
yeah.
than
Well,
what we
Gobert's hurt
believe.
too.
Mhm.
I don't even care about him. He wasn't gonna make a
Yeah, we
difference in
nobody
my
cares
opinion.
about Gobert.
Yeah, I think barring
think
the
that
AE
like 40-pointer,
Mhm.
you're really
Yeah.
not looking at much.
I mean, and even Cat struggled in the first game as well. Like
Yeah.
he didn't really have that big of an impact as I thought he would, and I thought that they would come
Well,
out
'cause
with
he
more
not-
fire, but same thing.
'Cause he
Probably
not
still
dealing
closer
with
to
the
injured
damn
as well.
Thunder.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
that
my
too.
thing. He ain't dealing with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He dealing with Aaron Gordon, Michael
Yeah.
Porter Jr., like a Denver team that can actually play some defense.
Length,
Yeah.
some wing, some
Yeah,
solid
Anthony Edwards is
wings.
the key to all of this to making it an interesting series, but he's banged up. You see it in his jump shot.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
He's not. No.
Yeah, and I don't know if you
gotta
guys,
see-
I don't know if you guys saw it. Kat said it felt like they knew every single play that they were going to run, and KCP came out and said, "Yeah, we did. We've been watching film."
Right.
So I think that also shows that
Yeah, if there's no adjustment.
yeah, there's a coaching discrepancy as well, which really shows in the playoffs more than anything
Oh,
else.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. When you have a coach that's, not as great at his job, and you got a coach in Malone, who I don't think is the greatest coach in the league, but he's certainly done a really good job in Denver. And
Yes.
Right.
you
You
know,
don't grab
he's-
a one
yeah.
seed being
Yeah.
a mediocre coach.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he's definitely figured it out to some extent, and he had them working, right? They were off for like a week, right? And they were there watching. They watched the Timberwolves games. They reviewed film. Anytime they wanted to get into any sort of action, they were there. They knew exactly
Yeah.
what was doing. They were able to shut it off,
Well-
and it stifled them.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll see an adjustment from Minnesota. I don't think they're a terrible team, but there's definitely a gap, especially when you think of winning by 30 and Jokic only had 13 points.
Mhm.
That's the
13
dangerous. That's
boards.
the,
Yeah, 14.
eye-opening thing. That's why
So-
it's sweet. If they win
he
in
didn't
games
even-
with him struggling,
yeah, he didn't even
What's
get
gonna
that
happen
many
when he's
assists.
eating?
20 and 15 and
Yeah.
25, 30. And he's putting
Yeah.
up he didn't even get the massive assist numbers
Yeah,
we're used to.
Murray led the team with 8.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm also feeling a sweep, possibly 5, but Denver looks really good. right
I need another. We have Minnesota now. Moment.
Yeah, right,
That
right.
was good last year. That was a good laugh, and I need another one.
they end up losing that game.
This one is very interesting to me. LA and Memphis.
Would have been more
Is it?
interesting.
I wish
if
we
Ja-
should do a clip of me saying LA's dangerous if AD's healthy.
Bro,
Because I know I've only
Fuck
said it
that.
about 35
Hey.
times.
bro.
Hey, all I gotta say is two names.
Before and after the trades.
Two
Austin Reeves.
names. Austin Reeves and Rui
Rui
Hachimura. I'm just saying, if
I mean,
they
it's
play
only
like
one
that,
game.
that's but if you telling me they can just put up 15 for you like that on a nice night,
Yeah.
I take it. I
Yeah, so
take
you're not
it
going to
every
get
And
night.
the thing-
almost
The
50
thing
combined
was
every
too,
night,
Rui's
but-
minutes were going down towards the end of the season as well. So
Season.
it was a surprise, but I think it's because they knew that like, yeah, we need you. They got to put him in there at some
The
point.
amount
Austin
It's the
Reeves, I knew.
mismatch when they go so big, though.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
That's
that's
what I'm saying. The amount of trust they gave Rui, like my man's was backing guys down. getting
Like
to the
outside of
tunnel
Triple
and-
J, who has to be
Yes.
glued to the hip at AD,
Mhm.
there's nobody else that can guard that kind of size between Rui, between LeBron.
Mhm.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
Tillman,
Yeah, 'cause
Tillman Jr.
Tillman's-
can't do it.
Tillman's
Tillman
big
Roddy-
as well, like
Roddy can't
not-
do it.
yeah, the two guys
Brooks
who
can't do it.
could contribute are out. And that's Clark and Adams, right? They could be the ones helping. You could have Adams stick
They
AD
have to
and
grab fouls.
yeah. Well, I mean, you could have Adams stick AD at least when he's low, right?
Mhm.
And kind of at least have allow Triple J to roam and be a little bit more of a dominant force
Right,
like
but
he
when
is.
he's stuck at the hip, it's
Yeah.
just it opens up the lane for so much pick and roll action
Mhm.
between LeBron or Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
There's
Well, you
they
got
got a
Rui
lot
coming
of
down
game.
the lane, just dunking on him again. Like
Right.
And I actually
Yeah.
And
thought-
that was with again with the off game from LeBron. Didn't
Yeah,
really
I
shoot
was
the
gonna
ball.
say that. I
He's
thought-
able to play off the ball a lot more with these guys contributing like that,
Yeah.
where he can go for 20, 22, 5 and 5, and that's gonna help
it
them
makes a
win
difference.
rather than him
Yes.
going
Yeah.
for 30, 10, and 10. And
Well,
then
that's
they
the
can
thing
win.
because he could start up. He can start up later in the game. Like as long like that's
yeah,
the
he
thing,
can
and we've
conserve
seen
energy for the series, for future
Yep.
series.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's,
the thing,
he got
man.
it going in the first half and cooled down in the second half, but that's because he just let I mean, when you got hot hands, you let him
Well,
ride.
it was more like the second quarter and third quarter that he got.
It was
his
only it
points.
was the end of the first into the second, and then the start of the
Yeah.
third.
I actually thought Brooks
I-
did an okay job on him, given the size discrepancy.
Again, but
the
how
talent
okay are
discrepancy,
you
but-
with just pulling Dylan Brooks
Well,
out
yeah.
on the wing and letting him just chill there?
Yeah,
Because now he's not active with the other four
Exactly.
guys.
He's not active. Triple J is
Triple
attached
J
to
is
AD.
chilling. Yeah, and then it's three
And then
guys.
another big thing that's heading into game 2 is that it's looking like it's not going to be any job, and
Yeah.
that's really
Right.
I don't think
dangerous.
so.
After you
Nope.
just got your ass kicked at the crib, you lost your best player heading into game 2. Probably most likely, it's going to be rough to go back to LA. I don't see LeBron losing a 2-0 lead.
You know, and
I
what's,
just don't.
what I also like is the fact that if the game is on the line and they need LeBron, he'll be there.
yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
you could tell he doesn't have to, and that's the funny thing about it, and the scary thing about it. He's scoring 20-22. When the rest of them got it, let it go ahead, do it. He like,
Yeah.
I'll be here when you need me. I can
Right.
reserve
Mhm.
myself and I'll be here.
They're
That-
they're a
bro,
team that we called it though.
Yeah.
Coming down the stretch that nobody wanted to see them as a 7 seed or an 8 seed.
Oh,
Imagine if they were the 8. I think
Yeah.
Denver would be in a tough one right now.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, that's the thing too. Like when we were talking about it, if you think about it, like what teams were we really scared of that would like, I guess that Memphis would beat handily. I guess you can really just say Minnesota. I would say is the
Yeah,
only
we
team
did.
that
We
Minnesota
did.
would be, or that Memphis would beat handily. But other than that, if the Clippers fell there, I would pick the Clippers over the Grizzlies. If the Lakers fell there, I'd probably pick the Lakers fully healthy. Same thing with Golden State. Like we would have at least a handful of teams that can probably beat the Grizzlies right now. Even if Ja was playing, I believe that those other 3 teams, at least that I named, could beat the
Yeah.
Grizzlies in
The
7-game
biggest
series.
problem is what Vitor said though. There's the lack of depth in
Yeah.
the front
Yeah.
court is really hurting them.
Yeah.
Because even if Triple
Yes.
J did a good job at not fouling too much.
Yeah.
But again, AD's the kind of guy you also have to get physical with.
Yeah.
So
But I did mention, I think I mentioned this last week. You know, when they call the game a little less ticky tack in the playoffs, it really benefits a
This
guy
is only
like
the first
Jaren.
round.
Right.
This
It
is
really,
only the first
yeah.
round.
It benefited him because he was able to, do what he does. Obviously, he was a little bit limited in terms of how much he could roam and contest other people's shots. Still
Yeah.
think he had 3 blocks for the game.
Around
Yeah,
there, yeah. I think
I
so.
think he
2 or
had
3.
2 and a steal.
Not
He
matching
had 2
AD.
blocks and
7
1
though.
steal.
Not matching AD7.
He had 2
But-
blocks and 1 steal, but still 3 forced turnovers.
Yeah. And you're
And
looking
30 plus points.
Yeah, and that's while sticking a guy like AD, which,
But again, they didn't even feed AD in the
Yeah.
second half.
well, yeah, I mean, he
They
couldn't
had
feel
they
his
had
arm
no
for a bit,
intention
so-
of letting him shoot. He
No.
kind of
They
stat padded on a lot of
Yeah.
turnovers towards
Assists
the
and
end of the
turnovers,
fourth
yeah.
quarter. Like he was sitting at 16 for like the entire second quarter or second half until the end of the fourth. So it's kind of crazy how they're able to just pull 2 of their better defenders
Yeah.
just completely out of the half court set.
Yeah, it'll be
And just
interesting to
run.
see what if the Grizzlies get bounced in round 1. It'll be interesting to see how they
What
approach
happens next season? yeah.
because clearly they have to step into win now mode. I would believe
they're
because
young still.
They're young, but if you look at their contract situations,
Yeah, they got to
They're
pay
gonna
some
start
people.
owing
it's
some
starting.
guys
It's getting.
coming up.
It's getting.
especially with Triple J.
I
starting
think
to
I think he's
rank
already
up
extended. He's
accolades.
already got a max extension before
Yeah,
that. I don't know if-
Jaren and Ja both do.
I
So
don't
they're
know if-
set. It's just
Yeah.
it's just the role players now.
Bane
But
is in
Bane,
year
I
3.
think Bane is the one who's eligible for an extension.
Yeah.
Dylan is a restricted free agent this summer, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Which
think so.
He's an interesting case because, like, obviously, as an NBA fan, you're like, who's really gonna want Dylan Brooks like that? Who's really gonna pay him?
He played a
But
good
you
game,
need
though.
him. He's your point of attack defender, right? You
Yeah.
need him. You need the guy who's willing to get down and dirty. As much as you hate, he's probably
And he
top
can
3
hit a
most
shot when he's good and he's
dislikable
out there.
guys. But you need a guy like that if you want to win,
Oh, my-
right? That's what Draymond's
I
been
guess.
for the Warriors.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
saying he's
He's not Draymond,
elite
but
in the league, but I mean,
they can't lose him for nothing.
you can't give him up. Yeah.
They can't just let him walk. They're not going to get better if they let
Well,
him
what do you
walk.
think? What do you think then Dylan is worth? Because obviously it's like Houston is
10 to
Houston
15.
according to reports.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
I think he's gonna
15,
command.
but
I think
somebody's
he's gonna
gonna pay
command
him.
20. I think he's gonna command 20.
shit. I mean,
He's
I don't know
not
if y'all saw
20.
the Pat Bev.
No,
move.
he's not 20,
No,
but
he's not 20, but
That's
there's
the NBA.
bottom
league.
of the barrel teams
The-
that'll pay him,
yeah.
and it's
And-
going to be up to him if he's okay taking a cut and staying competitive. Or,
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw the news. They made one of the CBA rule changes is that a team has to be at 90% of the cap or 90% of the floor or something like that on opening day. Or otherwise they will not be able to collect luxury tax money. So for example, this season, the Spurs would have not made $15 million that they did from luxury tax payments.
Oh, okay.
So teams are now being
Forced to sign
incentivized
guys
to spend money.
rather than save it all.
Yes.
Well, it's
So
going to
like
be a lot
Bob-
more overpays now.
Yeah,
I
and I mean, we
believe.
might see short-term overpays for these like rebuilding
Austin
teams.
Reeves,
Well, he's gonna have.
he's gonna get a bag.
He's interesting.
I'll be honest.
They
I
can only
think
offer him
Austin
4 for
Reeves.
55. So
Nah, Austin Reeves to me, I ain't gonna lie. This might be spicy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a huge fan of Dylan Brooks. I don't know
No.
what it is.
no
I don't
one's a
care
big
if he.
fan
I
of
don't.
Dylan
I don't
Brooks.
give a hell. I don't give a hell what he do on the defensive end. The boy trash offensively to me. Defensively, if he don't talk to you, don't get in their head. He trash defensively. That's how I feel about it. Like, yeah, he'll slow somebody down, but he's definitely going to give up 20 on efficient
Yeah.
shooting. Like,
Right.
the only headlines I feel like Dylan Brooks then made is the beef he had with the Warriors, but his ass about to go home in the first round of the Lakers. But like outside of that, Dylan Brooks ain't offering nobody shit to me. That's how I
Yeah.
think about it. Like,
but-
if you want to put, if we had Dylan Brooks and Austin Reeves, I'm paying Austin Reeves before I pay Dylan Brooks. Because Austin Reeves showed me he can be a role player and to produce. I'll
Yeah.
take it. And he'll
Mhm.
grow as the season go.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'm not rocking with Dylan Brooks.
I made
show me
a-
something different. Like,
I made a good point. We were talking in the group chat about Reeves and just saying that some team's going to overpay him. And he worked so well in the pick and roll with AD,
Mhm.
whether he's driving or popping out for a three. I think he'd look real good on Utah.
I mean, the reality is
I think he'd look real good with Lowry and Walker
Yeah.
Kessler.
the Lakers
And they don't really have a true point guard right
Yeah.
now.
the Lakers can only offer him 4 for 55 based on current rules.
Right.
He can sign, I believe,
think
a
he'll
4
take
for
it.
80 from another team. He's a restricted free agent. The plan might literally be, hey, sign an offer with another team and we'll match
I was
it.
gonna say a ring says a lot if they can make a run and win it. 'Cause
So
if they can keep the core they got now post deadline,
mhm.
that's a good team, man.
Yeah, and
we're
with
literally talking about the Lakers. We're literally
Yeah.
talking about the Lakers being this good because of Austin Reeves. Like,
I mean, it's
him
not just
stepping up.
because.
Well,
yeah.
not him, but it's because it's how he stepped up towards
Yeah.
the
No,
end.
and
I
how
think-
he
I think
compliments
That's what,
LeBron
2 to
and
3
AD.
weeks of
I
the
think.
season. These last 2 to 3 weeks of the season, it's been Austin Reeves at a consistent 15.
Mhm.
Like, it don't matter how he got it, and he's still playing defense.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing it on both sides for you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
So-
the
Go ahead,
yeah, I was gonna
finish
say like there was a lot of rumors
Finish it.
at the deadline that the Grizzlies wanted McHale to plug in for that 3 spot. I imagine there would have been a package of like Dylan Brooks, maybe Zaire
That's probably why they didn't take it.
Williams,
Zaire Williams, yeah.
and multiple firsts and
That's
supposedly.
why
I
they
mean,
didn't take it.
all we know it was that there were 4 first round picks offered, and they didn't take it.
You know, Phoenix don't like picks.
Because the players,
No,
that-
this would have
yeah,
been
but the
for
players they
Brooklyn.
were getting.
After he went to
Wow.
Brooklyn, they tried to get him from Brooklyn for 4 first rounders and maybe a player or two. We're speculating on who. It just makes sense, right? But I'm looking at it right now. If they get bounced and they're not able to get a guy like an OG or a McHale, they're gonna fall into the we have to pay Dylan Brooks overpay trap because
Yep.
it's either that or nothing.
Well, that's the thing. You're gonna fall into that.
I'd
you're gonna
rather
fall in-
overpay OG.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
you're
Raptors
gonna
are gonna need to
overpay
blow
the
it
living
up,
hell
so-
out of OG.
The
because
Raptors
you're gonna
hold the
fall
key
into
to the
that.
offseason.
You're gonna fall into that you're gonna fall into that small market overpays because all right, we
Yeah.
kind of hit our ceiling, but we
Mhm.
can't get no other players even despite what offers we make. But you're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna fall into that trap, unfortunately, of being a good small market team.
Yeah,
at
and then
that point.
Tyus signed, I think, a 2-year deal, has 1 year left on that, so he'll be a free
Yeah.
agent again the next summer. That's gonna be he's gonna earn a big deal somewhere. Maybe not
Yeah.
huge, but
Yeah,
it's gonna be
he's
big
gonna-
enough to prime away.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're really got to start figuring things out because
So we're saying we're all saying they're getting bounced. What are we going?
Yeah.
4, 5, 6?
it depends on job, but I'm gonna go 6.
I'll say 6.
Lakers and
6.
Lakers in 5.
Ooh.
Oh,
Lakers in 5. I mean, they already stole one,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Facts.
and Ja's not playing game 2,
Him
so they
too.
might steal another one, and then you
Facts.
go back to I mean, I know it's
You
crypto,
know,
but they go back to Staples, and
I know.
Crypto.com.
that's two more. At
I know
home?
it's crypto.
That's two more at home. You could be looking at a sweep.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'll go
It'll
5.
be
I'll
it'll
go
be kind
5.
of like that that they'll be 3-0'd and then they win that last home
That
game
desperate game.
type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they win that game in LA to like fighting
win
for their
4 and
lives.
5, then win at
Then they
5
go
and
into
lose back in
Memphis.
LA.
Try to play
Yeah.
their ass off again, you know. No.
Yeah.
They're going home.
4 or 5. I'll take 5 though. All right. We got a few more coming up here. We're gonna go to a very interesting series that really took a I mean, we and Vitor was talking about it right before, but we got the Kings and the Warriors. Now, Vitor, he's got a buddy in a bunch of his group chats that is a Kings fan. He's been saying, wanting all that smoke.
So
I'm gonna just take a step back and just try to say, realistically, all the Kings did was take care of business. You know what I'm saying? It's 2-0 at home against a team that's one of the worst road teams
if not the worst.
during the regular season. So if you can take one at Golden State, then you can start talking smoke. But I'm gonna still stick with the Warriors, gain some traction here in these next 2 games. I'm gonna go Golden State in 7.
Mm.
That's just my opinion.
This is tough.
It is a tough series to call. I would
know,
like to
I was
see a
Golden
game.
The
in
State
King,
Golden
hey, the
State.
Kings look real good though. They look young, athletic, hungry. They got guys on
I
the
don't-
bench that are knocking down shots and playing big minutes.
See, my
They're long. They're playing shot for shot with the Warriors. Like the
Right.
Warriors are usually the team that if they can't hold you, they're just gonna outscore you. And now the Kings are
It
kind of
ain't
doing
there.
that.
But that's the thing with this Warriors team. They can't hold you. And you're playing the number 1 offensive team throughout the NBA regular season.
Mhm.
That's hot. And they ain't been into the playoffs since 2006. So they're going to be motivated this entire series.
Hmm.
I'm not liking where the Warriors are in terms of why we watching these games. They're making their normal runs. And the Kings are withstanding these runs and like standing them back up and giving them a run on their own.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
I
they're
think
just
right
they're
now,
eating every shot.
like
They're saying,
Jordan-
here's a 3, and we'll give you one right back.
But I believe that's coaching though. You remember everybody can't forget Mike Brown was with the same team the last 6
Yeah.
years or so, like roughly before he got
They
to
give, hey,
Sacramento.
they
So
give
he
me
understands
similar
this team.
vibes.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
give me real
100%.
similar vibes.
That's what I'm
like a
saying.
younger
100%.
Warriors.
So they
So
understand, like, you can't tell me Mike Brown ain't sitting on the side going like they about to make a run, withstand it,
They
and we
gonna
finna
run
make
this
our own
play.
run once this
Look for
all
this
cools
man in this
They
spot.
finna run this right now. They finna cut it to about probably 6 or 8, and when they cut it to 6 or 8, rev it back up.
Yeah.
And they're not deep enough. Moses Moody not gonna cut it. Jonathan Kuminga not gonna cut it. As sad as it seems, Jordan
Mhm.
Poole need to step the fuck up, or they gonna be out.
I was
That's
about
the
to say,
only way you're
Wiggins
gonna see
came
it.
back
Because
like
if
he
Malik
ain't missed
Monk
a
still
beat.
walking
Yeah.
his ass,
Exactly.
yeah, if Malik Monk walk his ass back into the game off the bench and drop another 20 ball on y'all losing. As you got
They're just too quick,
De'Aaron
man.
Fox, dog. DeMontis
too
Sabonis
quick.
said, "All right, I'll take care of Draymond."
I was about to say
Sabonis has
he's
been
not
out
even
all
playing
over
like
first game.
phenomenal. He's just like inside Dre's head.
He's not.
He's playing
He's
playing
just playing with
like
Dre.
dirty / chippy enough to where it's like he's staying off of the radar, but then getting
Like
Draymond in
prime
trouble.
example, if anybody listening to this, everybody that's listening to this podcast, if you gonna sit here and say Draymond deserves to be suspended, you're wrong. Draymond
Correct.
fucking
I
great,
agree.
okay?
He shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
Sabonis
That's
been
a
on this
two-way
the
street
whole
right
time.
there,
Game
bro.
1, he was bumping on him.
He knew,
Yeah,
yeah,
bumping
he
on
knew
him
what he
and
knows
everything,
what he's
grabbing
doing.
his foot. Yeah, he know what he's doing, and I feel like Mike Brown talked to him about it. Like,
Yeah,
you do
right.
this, and then we get you back to being you the next
That's what I'm
round.
saying, bro. The Kings, they're like a younger Warriors right now.
Yeah,
Like they
they-
got their
Mhm.
Draymond, they
They
got
even
their
have Harrison
Steph.
Barnes.
They got well, that's kind of strange.
Hey, Harrison Barnes is
Look at
turning
that.
back the clock
Hey,
a
he
bit as
dunked
well.
Dame dunked on Clay so nasty last game. Like, Harrison Barnes has stepped up drastically for the Kings,
Yeah,
and that's
I
where I'm
think
like,
he's-
you
Clay's
gonna bring
another
them
one
back,
who's gotta-
step up.
they all
But I
gotta
think it's
step-
so hard
again,
because Clay's trying to chase Kevin Huerter 1 minute, then you get a more explosive Malik Monk coming at you.
Yeah.
Like,
Again, I
Malik
want to
Monk
see.
can
I want to
step
see
back
this
three.
game 3 though. Game 3 at Golden
That's
State.
it.
It's gonna be
the
it's
biggest
gonna
one.
be telling.
If they lose
If
that,
the
I'm
Kings
going
play
sweep.
well in game, if I ain't gonna say lose, if the Kings just play well in game 3, I'm giving the Kings this series. Like, if the
Warriors
Warriors
are a whole
squeak it out,
different
I'm
team,
going
though.
Kings. Yeah, That's my thing. If the Warriors like squeak a game 3 out, this the King series, bro.
No, I'm okay if the Warriors squeak it out. I just think if they can win both games in 3 and 4, like they're supposed to,
I mean,
I think.
but then it goes back to that. It's a 3-game series.
Mhm.
It's a best of 3, and the Kings.
But the
have 2
Warriors
home
very
games.
easily could have took game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They missed that
Wiggins
opportunity.
was wide open in the corner.
Mhm.
They gave
And
Steph a
took a
wide
floater
open
3.
look, but he shouldn't have got
Well,
open
first
in
of
the
all,
first place. That was
first of
terrible
all,
defense.
I don't think he was supposed to take a floater 3. I think he was supposed to set his feet and let that ride. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
he had time for it too, actually.
Yeah.
He had time to get his feet down and just let it
Yeah.
ride normal, not a
He
runner.
was feeling himself on that. I think the
And
Warriors
that's the
could have
biggest
stole
thing
that
too in
game
this
1.
series.
Game 2 for me was a lot more Kings in control.
Mhm.
I
But
think the
the
Warriors
Warriors
let the
were
first one
coming back.
slide.
Mhm.
They were. I think I'm telling you, if they can take 3 and 4, they got a chance. But
They have to take both.
let me go. Let me hear what y'all got.
I got
This is-
Kings in 6.
I want to watch game 3.
6, okay.
But
Yeah, that's why we're doing it.
I
then.
know. I'm gonna go Kings in 7.
Ooh.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I can't. I know as I hyped them up, I'm still going Warriors and 7. I just can't. I think they're gonna get one.
I
But if
also,
the Kings,
I do think that going to a game 7, it would be insane.
I think it would be in Golden State.
and that's just dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is a road game, but they've been there, they've done it, they know what it's like. Maybe the nerves kick in for Sacramento back when,
I think also too something that might set in because he talked about it game 1. The Aaron Fox guard and goddamn it, Steph.
Is that I want to see how the wear and tear
That
goes.
where I think that wears down because Delly wore there. The Aaron Fox.
Delly did it for what, three straight seasons?
yeah.
Yeah,
straight
pretty
Um,
much.
I'm
gonna-
on the Kings.
I'm
They're
gonna
there.
like you, Isaac. I'm gonna stick with the guns. It's what I said last week when I made my finals predictor. I'll go Warriors in 7. I think they bounce back in game 3. Game 4, I think, is gonna be bloodshed, bro. But the Warriors are gonna have to squeak that one. I do think the
Yeah,
Warriors
okay.
take 3 in a fairly not dominant or convincing, but I think it's comfortable. I think
Yes.
game 3 is more comfortable for Golden State at home. Like I said, game 4 should be bloodshed. Game 4 and 5 will both be. But Warriors, I think they steal one. I think it goes to that game 7 back in sack, and the Warriors championship pedigree pulls it out. I'm gonna stick with it. And then we'll go into the final series, the 4-5. Isaac, I know you've been waiting for this one, so we saved it for last. And I've been waiting for it too. Big
Bro,
Kawhi Leonard. What did I
Bro.
tell you?
It took everything.
Look.
What did I tell you?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it took a lot out of me not to wear my son's jersey today. So
And no PG either. Again, we got this game tonight at 9 o'clock. So
I
we're
don't
gonna
want to
see
hear
what
and
they're
Scott
about.
Falls referee. I don't want to hear this.
We're gonna see what they're really about. But we saw a really good
Are we though?
convincing performance. I think so. Oh, 100%.
gonna see what we
I
really
have the
about.
Suns. I have the Suns tonight. I have the Suns tonight bouncing back. That's
With
my
Scott
opinion.
Foster
I had the
referee.
Suns until I saw the Scott Foster.
No, I have. You're right. Hey, the club might shoot 20 free throws tonight.
like.
I'm waiting.
Kawhi,
Game
Kawhi might
physical.
shoot 20 free throws tonight.
Okay,
Game
it'd be
1 was
one
already
thing.
physical.
Yeah, it'd be
You
one
got
thing though.
Scott Foster coming in though.
Listen, though, I'm telling you, Kevin Durant, man. And again, I'm picking Clippers. I'm gonna
Right.
just say that before we make our predictions. I am picking
It's
Clippers.
not-
Kevin Durant is still on the other side,
Mhm.
and he hasn't had that game yet. He had
I
a couple when he
understand that.
first started, but I think he gets
It's
like
what you all
35
pointed
or
out to
40.
me. It's what you all pointed out to me. The Suns' depth.
Mhm,
And to me, the Suns got no heart.
mhm.
Like,
That's where
prime
I
example.
think they're going to Kevin Durant tonight.
yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, if Torrey Craig needs to figure this out. Because you're gonna guard Russell Westbrook. And you're gonna turn your back to Russell Westbrook.
Mhm.
He's just gonna grab offensive rebound after offensive rebound.
All
I don't care if
day.
you get a tip on it. Like, I'm watching Westbrook move in game
He's always
1,
been one of the best rebounding
and like
point
not a
guards.
single soul could put a body on somebody.
Yeah.
He looks
Not
like
a single
Steph.
soul could put a body on him though.
He looks like
because
Steph running around
put it
there. But
more.
for rebounds and not open shots.
Yeah.
He rebounds, not shots, rebound. And he still shot 3 for 19. Like, all you ought to do is rebound.
Mhm.
Hey, he's making the impact
DA
though that
shot
they
a
signed him
airball
for.
floater.
Exactly. If he gets him 10 to 15, that's a plus.
Yeah.
And that's the
Mhm.
difference of this series because he brings the heart to Clip. He brings even more heart to an already team that already has
Yeah.
heart to.
Yeah.
Listen,
Would y'all
I,
s-
I'm. Go
Would it
ahead,
t-
Danny. Go ahead.
Yeah, would y'all
But-
say too that Coach Monty is getting out coached by Ty Lue at the? I mean,
It's
it was one
It's
game.
one game.
It's
Yeah.
one game, but
I'm not
I-
saying
Hell,
nothing
he
yet.
been getting
I
coached
guess-
by Ty.
I guess my thing would be is that do you think that Ty Lue's coaching ability when it comes to adjustments, rotations, and knowing who to go to type of thing is going to outweigh the Phoenix Suns' talent at the end of this series to where the Clippers are going to move on even without PG?
I think so. And I just look at the Clippers' depth,
I
and we've
could see
always
it
talked
because-
about it.
And to me right now, it's hard to make adjustments for the Suns. For Monty, it's hard to make any adjustments when I don't have enough depth to make the adjustments. Like you either have to leave Book on the floor, I have to leave KD on the floor, and at some point, when it's just one of them on the floor, and Chris Paul was non-existent in game one a little bit. Like we had to switch to put Book at the one. Like it's looking rough in Phoenix, and on top of that, DA looks soft.
What else
Really
is new?
soft.
What else is new?
Soft as baby shit.
The
I
only
don't
man
care what
softer than
somebody say.
DA is Rudy Gobert.
Well, Cat's up there.
If
too.
DA just had attitude, the rest. If DA, no, I ain't gonna lie, I still think Cat's still softer than DA. But if DA just got a little angry and just wanted to just grab the ball every rebound, if he tip another mother rebound, we're gonna have an issue. Like you be up in the air, he just tip. Grab it.
In comes Westbrook.
When you tip it, who grabbing it? Russell Westbrook.
Hey, even with the KD
Just
trade,
grab it.
DeAndre Ayton still
that's my
doesn't want to
thing.
be there.
Yeah. It hasn't changed anything.
He has not changed his attitude,
That's
even
what
with
I'm
the great
saying, and
talent
that's
of
the
Kevin
thing.
Durant.
I made my when we
Nope.
argued about this, Isaac, what, a week or two ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago about the Clippers Suns series. I said I wanted to see it. And that was with me thinking PG would be ready for the series or at least come back a little bit because I figured they'd have a
Yeah.
body to throw at KD, they'd have a body to throw at Book.
Yeah.
They still got
What if-
Zubats for DA. And now they don't have PG, and I'm still feeling the same way.
Mhm.
I think I've said it
And-
all season when Vitor was kind of complaining about load management on some of the guys. Kawhi Leonard is in it for the long run.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the regular season. He doesn't care about getting minutes. He doesn't care about getting his feet wet or trying to get back in rhythm. All that is just BS to him. He cares about what's going on
Winning.
right now. He cares about winning a championship, get to the playoffs. He's not
Exactly.
meant for this up and down BS of the regular
Mm-hmm.
season. Get him in a half court set.
Yep.
This is why he's a top 5 player in the league.
Yeah. And
You know what
they're
I'm saying? Guys like Jimmy Butler.
Like-
it's the same thing.
Mhm.
They are made and built for the playoffs.
I'm just happy though that Kawhi is actually performing to what we believe he can.
This
Because
is
I was a
what
little.
because this is what he is.
yeah.
Well, I know,
he's
but
been
I was
doing
just
it
a
during
little
the
bit
regular
skeptical.
season
I was just a
too, and I
little
think
bit
it's-
skeptical, but I'm
He's
just
not a
glad
regular
that.
season guy.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, but I don't think nobody watched him down the last what to the last. Everybody was skeptical, but down the last month, every game he played, he was about a 25 or 20. up
Clinical,
there.
bro.
Mhm.
It's because he plays
Like
within his
down the
own
last
game.
month,
He
like
plays
he
in
was
the
literally
half court.
waiting to rev his game up towards the end of the season. That's all he was
Exactly.
waiting
He
on.
knew what he
And then on
knows
top
what
of
the hell
that-
he's doing.
Yeah, and then that's the whole thing with this. The Clippers in this series in game one, yes, it's early in the series, but the Clippers in game one show way more heart, way more physical than the
Mhm.
Phoenix Suns. If you don't come out physical or with more heart, like this is his ton. The Suns team, that Suns team last night looked like the Suns team they got back, whooped their like ass whooped and get checked by Dallas. That's how
Yes.
soft they look
Yeah.
a little bit to me. Like that's how soft they look. Like
Okay.
DA don't want to rebound. Book complaining about calls. Only one who playing with some damn toughness on the floor was Kevin Durant. Outside of that,
You
everybody
can't
else
change that.
Yeah.
That's how he is.
You
But
can't
that's all.
change that.
That's
So,
another thing too. Is that who Kevin Durant isn't vocal. Booker to me ain't vocal. CP3 is a little bit
Oh,
vocal,
see,
but I just don't think
Booker-
that
CP's
DA
vocal.
CP's
No,
CP's
no, I'm
made a
talking
career.
about
CP and Book are
from-
vocal.
of like calling DA out to like vocal like that
I
of
think
being
Chris
a,
Paul's the only
But-
one.
Yeah.
But it's
But the
tough
only
when
thing
you're
that keeps
DA
happening,
Hmm.
and you see Chris Paul not performing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, or
mhm.
like you constantly getting called out, and he's just not responding at this
Well,
point.
he responds negatively.
Everybody
He's
done
like
did it.
tucking his tail between
Yeah,
his legs every
tucking-
time someone
Yeah.
calls
tucking
him
his
out.
tail between his legs, untuck his jersey, arguing with somebody on the sideline. Like you playing like shit. Like
Yeah.
you could go make some money somewhere else if you just weren't playing like shit right now.
I mean, he tried to.
Like-
he
did try
tried to
He
go
could've
make
Like,
that
he
been
tried
money.
to wrap it
NBA
up.
champion.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, the
Like-
Phoenix Suns would be in much better position right now if they had Miles Turner.
Turner.
100%.
Why you got a big
Well,
that's
if
just
he was
tough.
healthy,
I ain't
yes.
gonna cap.
Hey, I
Mhm.
still argue they'd be in a better position with Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, but who
Oh.
am I? Who am I?
Mm.
If it just kept one of them, I'd be happy.
They're just
Shit,
missing a
Bridges was
wing
scoring
defender.
20 a game. Yeah, exactly. That's my whole thing. The heart that Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges filled that team with is gone.
We ain't even talking about Norman
Josh Okogie.
Powell.
So,
We ain't even
Right.
talking about
You
Norman
got
Powell
Norman
right
Powell,
now.
Gordon.
Eric Gordon. They all played
He
phenomenal
was
last
huge. You
game.
called that.
yeah,
He was
the,
huge.
The trade move, the moves that the Thunder made at the deadline in the buyout market.
The Clippers.
I talked the Clippers.
Clippers. I was like Thunder.
wish the Thunder was in it, to be
Yeah.
honest. That'd be crazy.
That would
But
be
the
yeah.
Clips-
The moves the Clippers made at the trade deadline in the buyout market. I brought it up. I loved what they did
The Aaron
back then.
Gordon move was like
And it's just they've
Concede that.
filled every like their team is so deep. They can throw so many different looks at you. You know, if you have a,
Different bodies. And
yeah, they got a guy like Terrence Mann who can run the point for them. He can play the 2, he can play the 3.
spot up.
Yeah,
Just
he-
spot up
He
shoot.
gives them different looks on offense and defense, you know, throws things off, you know. So for example, Book's got to see Russ, he's got to see Man. He'll see Kawhi a little bit if KD's sitting.
Yeah.
He's lucky you don't have to see Paul George in addition to that.
Dude,
Right.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon is not a bad defender by any means either. Right. Like
he's lost a step, but he's still
tough.
smart.
Yeah,
We're
he's
talking about
smart
the
and he's
same-
tough.
my favorite player legit got down the stretch, blew past Westbrook, got his shit beat by Westbrook towards
Yeah.
the end of the game.
Dude,
Like,
the fact I'm
incredible.
telling
he
you,
has to step up.
Loved it.
the only reason, in my opinion, that the Suns and I was Isaac was arguing, I was vocal about it. The only reason the Suns have a chance in this series right now is because there's no Paul George. If Paul George was in this, I'm going like Clips in 5, but I'll go
Ooh.
Clippers in 6.
Yeah. I'm going
Okay.
Clips in
I'm gonna
6.
stick to my guns. You know, I ain't gonna turn on my team. just
They
yet.
better at least
I'm
be
going-
7 if you're picking your team.
You got the Suns in 9.
You know what? How about this? I got the Suns in 6.
Ooh.
Suns in 6.
All right,
So,
I'm telling
I
you,
got-
if it's
I got
gonna
Clips
be,
in 7.
it's gonna be right here on the back of Kevin Durant, averaging probably 35
Devin,
plus.
and I think what's his face gonna understand he can't be that motherfucking soft no more. Devin Booker. I think those two guys step up drastically.
Well, one of them's got to
Yeah.
concede
Last
because
time-
Kawhi is going to play
Last
in front
time,
of
let's
him.
think about it. The same reason why the Clippers didn't sent that the Clippers didn't got their ass sent home the last couple of times because Book done scored 30 to 35 in the middle
Well,
of
they
the
weren't
rest of
fully
the fucking
healthy.
series.
They weren't fully healthy either, though.
That's cool. They not healthy now.
I know. You guys keep getting lucky.
With the Scott Foster thing.
Well, we
bringing
had
back for the
Kawhi last year. We had Paul George. We got no Paul George. now.
That's
Now we
that's
got
the better
Kawhi.
side of the coin.
Same-
That's the
Yeah.
better side of the
I'll
coin.
take it.
yeah, but
I
the-
just
Kawhi
think
is
they
the
just
worst
have to
one
be
to have
tough.
to face.
You have
Scott-
to be more physical with this team.
yeah, Scott Foster repping Chris Paul teams in the playoffs. I said this before we started recording.
Love it.
Chris Paul is 2-17
Hmm.
with Scott Foster as a
At least he has some
referee
wins in there.
in the playoffs, and he is on a 13-game losing streak.
Oh, there it is.
So
I still think it ends tonight. I think Phoenix grabs this one tonight.
give it. They got it. They're
They're gonna have to play really good.
yeah, and they're gonna.
Kawhi,
need,
I'm telling you,
they're
he's
gonna need
locked in,
to
bro.
be far away from Scott Foster.
Kawhi got tuned up right before the playoffs. They done put
Mhm.
the right programming into him. Them eyes are looking
Oh.
real laser like right about now. All
I
right,
ain't gonna
so
lie,
we're
I'm
gonna
frustrated.
we're gonna we're gonna run into the award. So I know we missed one.
Did we do all the games? Did we not miss?
No, there's no more.
Wow,
No, that was the last
felt
one.
So, it felt like
There's no more.
felt so quick.
No.
Yeah.
What you mean? What you talking
I
about?
don't
Quick.
I know.
Like,
What?
it just I don't know.
We're running on 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Segment.
So we're gonna talk about. We've had two
Two
winners
winners,
so
yeah.
far. We've had Triple J, which we
Mhm.
all called. All three of us
Called.
said Triple J would win. Me and Isaac
We
just
just wanted-
thought Brooke Lopez should have won. And then we all called De'Aaron Fox winning clutch player. Danny, I'm sure you would have been pretty much on the same kind of.
I was just surprised that they had DeMar in there.
He's
I
still,
was-
He still was
He-
top 3 in
he was top.
Was that
Yeah,
what
he
it
was
was?
top-
Three and fourth quarter
Yeah.
scoring. He scored 22% of the Bulls' fourth quarter points this season. Zach did
Ah,
score
okay.
21%.
Sorry, and if you look at fourth
So-
quarter, yeah, scoring, he like number 2 or 3 in that shit.
Okay, okay.
I
I
and
thought
all of-
Jimmy was actually gonna win it, to be honest, but
No,
Yeah.
I thought that
No,
was
Fox.
De'Aaron all day.
yeah.
Jimmy felt like a nomination more so for like reputation than actual
Correct.
performance this
Mm.
season.
I think when you
That's a
looked
good
at
point.
overall statistics and performance, I felt like De'Aaron has carried that
Yeah.
reputation.
I mean, he had the
throughout
most
entire
points
season.
in the clutch ever in an NBA season
Correct.
this year. Granted, they played more clutch teams than any other team I think has ever.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely boost it. But
Yeah.
if you're winning these games, you're doing something right. But yeah, last week we missed 6th man of the year. It's my fault. I made the
Yeah,
award
we-
list, so I missed
I
that.
did realize that, but then I was like, maybe they just got rid of it.
No,
I was
yeah.
like, that's a big award to get rid of, but
They still have it. It's a 2-horse race, and one horse is far ahead. And I think, by our opinion, we agreed
yeah,
on this.
let's see what you guys go.
But so we'll let you guys go first for 6 men.
I'm
Go
gonna let
ahead.
Danny go first.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
You got it,
Go ahead.
Dan.
Go ahead.
You was not,
Go
man.
ahead. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. I was trying to get my list together. I'm thinking like so.
Yeah, this one wasn't on the list, so it's come. It's just
All right, Danny, come on.
For 6 man,
Yes.
well, I actually haven't thought about it too much.
that's what happens when we don't put
Um,
things in our text list before
yeah.
we
Yeah,
record.
no one's got time to think about it.
Yeah, I actually haven't thought about it, but
Well,
I'm
me and-
gonna have
me
to
and
skip
Vitor
it.
had
though.
the
Yeah,
same
go ahead.
Actually,
Go ahead.
I'll give you one. Fuck it. Quickly.
That's a good guess.
That is
But it's not good. It's not who's gonna win.
that is horse number 2.
Yeah, I don't think I'll win, but I'm going quickly.
That's
You-
that's a really
it-
good pick.
it's-
I made
it's-
an argument against him
Yeah, I can
that
see.
it took him too long to become that 6 man.
Yeah, he also
and
did
Vitor had another
start
argument.
a lot. Like if you look at his splits when he starts first coming off the bench, his splits when he starts are actually like really, really good, and
They're
that's
better than his splits actually.
Yeah, they're
coming off the
boosting
bench.
him. They're boosting his overall numbers and the image of his impact as a 6th man.
Correct.
Whereas I think the other guy,
Who y'all gonna say?
we
Malcolm
waiting on Dan.
Brogdon.
I was gonna wait on Dan to spew a name.
I
out
knew
first,
Malcolm
but-
Brogdon.
Yeah, Brogdon.
He's
Yeah.
a true 6 man.
Yeah, even through all their roster shuffling,
He only started, I think, around like when you went towards the Christmas into early January when JB and JT
we're both.
or no, JB was out,
Tatum missed a game or two.
Smart was out, Horford was out, Tatum was
Yeah.
resting a little bit. They played a few games where Derek White had that
Yeah,
really
Di-
strong stretch. That court coincided with some
I mean,
of
It's
Brogdon's.
the week I matched up against. him
Another
in
one
fantasy.
too that I probably wouldn't have been mad at actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, is Bobby Portis. I wouldn't
It's a
be
great
mad.
pick too.
I wouldn't have been
I think
mad
he
at that.
was-
That
So
is a
he
great
not-
pick.
He might have been the third.
the third
I know they
finalist.
haven't come up with that yet.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
think that again, that's another one where I think he had a better year last year.
Correct.
So I think again, a little bit of reputation going in there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Um,
6 man of the year.
Quickly, Brogdon.
Oh, it's pretty split amongst these panelists. So never mind.
Quickly and Brogdon. That's all they got,
Yeah.
to be
Mhm.
honest.
Do
Which
they
is
have-
fair.
I mean, honestly, I think it should be Brogdon more so than
I
Quickly
agree.
because Quickly we know
Yeah, I
he's a
agree
good
with that.
player. We know he's a good player, but it's just his coach. Like,
For me, I
think-
thought Quickly just
I think-
waited too long to turn it on. I
Long.
just think
Mhm.
Brogdon has
And
been
I think-
consistent throughout the full season.
mhm.
Yeah, and on top of that, another stat like he just dropped was the starting numbers. Like his starting numbers was way better than his 6 man numbers. So I think for somebody who's on the bench or coming in as a 6 man almost all the whole year and still being consistent.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
he's
there we
back.
go.
There we
Good.
go. He's back. He's
Okay,
back.
okay.
So, and then what's the one next? They haven't announced what's tomorrow?
I don't think they've.
Coach of the year, but
Is it-
they already said it.
That's a wrap though.
Yeah, we called again.
Was it Mike Brown?
I
Do we
guess
think
so.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be Mike Brown? Is there a leak?
No, so literally the NBA or it was the Sacramento Kings Instagram page. Like it was post practice. One of the assistant coaches gathered all the players around. So the Kings announced their one of their G League players had made G League all first NBA or first G League all G League team. He was a center and then also first defensive team in the G League as well. And then
Mhm.
the assistant was like, "Hold up, everybody!" And then they were like, "Unanimous decision, Coach of the Year, Mike Brown." So like the Kings literally posted it, but I think it was
So
the one.
Kings know about it, or is it just?
But
a
I think it was
troll?
because I think it was the coach's poll. like the coaches did, like I think that they were just naming Mike Brown as the coach of the year from the coaches poll, not from the actual panelists.
Oh, I see.
But I
Okay.
but I think at the same time that's still giving it away
It's
because
a bit of insight.
because more times than not, it was the same thing with Dwayne Casey the year he got fired. The coaches unanimously chose him as coach of the year, and then the NBA also chose him as coach of the year from the panelists. So I think
And
it's
he got
just,
fired.
yeah, then he got fired. Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, DeMar
So-
got third in the clutch player voting.
So
Which-
I'm glad we covered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause we did miss that award. But Danny, I wanted you to lead a new segment, or you wanted you to lead a new segment.
Hey. So we're
What you came
gonna
up with.
there's a lot of
I didn't know.
him.
We're all going in blind.
Yeah,
Danny
we have
didn't-
no idea.
We have no idea what you're
Yeah,
gonna
I don't
ask
know
us,
what the
but I'm
segment
ready.
is.
I'm
there's
ready.
there's a lot of hims going on right now. You know, obviously it's a cool little trend that's going on and stuff like that. But I'm gonna name off some players for you guys, and you're gonna let me know this player is him or not.
Stephon Diggs on this list.
I think
Hey,
it's
I
just
mean,
ask him.
I know it's NBA. I'm just
Yeah, when
saying.
we do NFL, we'll definitely bring it in.
Jalen
But
Brunson on his list.
Diggsy's my boy.
but first one I'm gonna start with, I think probably most of you guys, or you probably will agree, Austin Reeves. Is he him or is he not him?
Not him.
Nah,
He's not him, but
No.
no, he's not.
Not him.
No, he's not.
Did you really pick that? 'Cause he-
I like it though. He was
That's-
he was him in game one,
he had a him game, but he
but
ain't him.
when
You
it
can't
comes
be
to
him.
being
Yeah, you can't be him scoring like no. He just had one good game. You bogus, Danny.
I mean,
That's like
he's-
some
I-
excuses.
I get it because he
He's
had
come
the
up
clip.
big.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's big, but he ain't him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If he him, he gotta be special.
Next one for you guys here. I'm gonna go with, has Kevin Durant shown you so far that he's him or not?
Well, he's always him. That's
Well, I'm talking
stupid.
about I'm talking about more so for playoffs right now. Obviously,
You
we're only
saying
a
on the
couple games in.
Suns, Is
Yeah.
Suns KD him?
Yeah, like I mean, obviously, and I'm taking. I mean, it's still early in the playoffs as well, but
He ain't scored
KD showing
27
him that he's him
last
so
game.
far.
Yes.
I'm
He
gonna say
scored 27
yes.
last game.
I mean, this was the first game he started that they lost.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say
Yes.
yeah, he is him, man. I think we just kind of touched on it with the Clippers and the Suns. In that first game, the Clippers were able to rattle some cages. KD's the only one that doesn't get rattled.
Mhm.
Even if he misses 10 shots, he'll still shoot the 11th.
Okay.
He's still buckle
mean,
down
yep.
on defense and
Same.
guard the number one if he has to.
Him and Russ
They were
both
back
have
into that
trait.
game. Yeah. Back in, yeah, but they were in the game down the stretch because of Kevin Durant. So
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one I got for you guys. Kinda, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. James Harden.
Mm.
no,
He was really good in game one.
he
He was
lost
really
his
bad
He
in
was
game
really
two.
bad in game two. See, but for me, James Harden doesn't have to be great if Tobias and Maxey are playing like that, because then he's able to just kind of be that floor general.
Yeah, but the
Two of what, 12
No,
or
look.
13 from three is not it
I
though.
and I think in order to be him, you got to be like
You gotta be
Him.
Joel.
Somebody
You gotta be
special.
Joel.
you got to I don't know if you got him on the list. You got like a SGA is him. Like that's
Yeah.
him.
Mhm.
I don't want to hear nobody give me a double on like 18 and 10. Shit, Tyrese Halliburton do that. And he's technically him. James Harden used to be him. He ain't him no more.
Yeah, James Harden was him up in Houston or down in
Yeah.
Houston.
I would
But-
say Houston James.
That
is
was
where-
him.
Yeah,
He ain't
That
him
was
no more.
that was it.
That
I
was-
wouldn't say
it's
Thunder
him, but
James.
that was
I
him.
wouldn't say post Houston
yeah,
James.
that was all caps him.
the James Harden I hate is him. The James
It's
Harden I
him.
love is not him.
Not him.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I got two more for you. Trey Young. See him or
Nope.
not?
Nope.
Hell
Nope.
no. That
Nope.
boy trash.
No.
He's so bad, bro.
The only thing he
I don't. He honestly.
just
and
said-
they did the players poll.
yeah.
He won the anonymous players vote or whatever. He was most overrated player, and I couldn't agree
Yeah.
with that even more.
I mean,
I
he-
could not agree with something more.
Yeah.
Hey,
I really
mean,
couldn't agree with something more. Oh no, Danny, your mic.
Your mic.
Danny, your mic.
Mike,
Plug it in, boy.
Danny, you talking to yourself?
No, bro. Danny, you was spitting facts.
Nope.
Hey, we're gonna run this with that.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
I was about to say
Alright,
we're gonna run this
But
with that.
what do you call it? I was surprised that Julius Randle was on the overrated list
Really?
as well. He was
Yeah.
second to Trey Young.
Yeah, because he does
So-
it once every 3 years.
Look.
I was a little
If you watch
surprised
it-
at that.
Had a
Look,
good year though.
He's had a
Look,
good year,
look.
but I don't think he's the type of guy that other NBA players look at and they're like the way, when people talk about NBA players talk about the Joel and Jokic MVP debate, the way they talk about Jokic, ain't
Yeah.
nobody talking about Randall like that when they're gonna go play the Knicks.
Yeah.
Right, but like that's what I'm saying, V. See, V just made a point. Like, in order to be him, you gotta wake up and be like, bro, I'm playing him today.
I was about
Yeah.
to say
You
when
waking
when-
up going like, I'm playing.
no
Julius.
one's catching the
Get ready,
Julius
let me get a
Randall.
good-
Yeah,
flu.
when Draymond, who is statistically one of the best defenders to play the game, is talking about Embiid and talking about Jokic as being just absolute nightmares to defend. I don't think he's talking about Julius Randle like that, and that's
Like-
because
like Paul-
yeah,
like
multiple
Paul George,
teams can
for
get.
example, it's a clip out.
It's
Like
what?
Paul George gets up to play Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Like,
Terrified.
he gets up to play Steph Curry and got 50 dropped on him. That's him.
Terrified.
See, we wake up to say, I gotta play. I gotta bring my A game. You don't gotta bring your A game for Julius Randle because sometimes he might be OC enough to give you the game.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's just what it is. All right. So this
No,
one
but
here,
this was Trey Young, right? This was Trey Young.
yeah, this was Trey Young.
Not
You got one
him.
more.
Nah, him.
I got a couple.
Hey, if he
more.
was him, they would have stole a game.
Yeah.
Well, this last one here. I'm gonna name you off 2 players, and you tell me which one is more so than the other.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go with
I like this.
first pick is gonna be Jalen Brunson. All right.
Oh, well,
And the
my picks
second
are-
player I'm actually gonna go with, and I think this year is a good comparison, but I think it'd be tough. Darius Garland.
Ooh. That's a recency effect too, because DG giving him the business right now.
It's
I think that
yeah,
one's a lot close. I think that one's a lot closer than what it
They have
seems.
such
For me,
different
honestly, I
styles.
feel like
no.
yeah, they're both floor generals though, but they do it in very different
yeah,
ways.
like one
But-
I can see playing in the 80s and
No.
90s, and one is playing the modern game, right?
Right.
Like
One operates a lot more
In the- yeah.
within the 3-point arc, while the
Yeah.
other operates.
yeah,
Oh.
slowing the
Outside of
pace
it.
down, getting to his spots. The other guy is quick and can get his shots up, and
You chose a bad one because Brunson took game 1, and now DG just took game 2.
I know.
I don't know how that's looking right now, but
I
it
mean,
was
it was a 22-point game at the end of the third. Let me check here.
Hmm.
man.
It's a 18-point game with a minute 40 left.
Show me Brunson. Don't tell me it's bad.
Probably
he was
is.
5 of 17, 20 points, 9 of those coming off of free throws. DG got 32 on the same amount of shots. 10 of those coming from free throws. So they took the same amount of shots, and DG took one more free throw. And made one more.
Such. I'm sticking with Brunson because I think that's such recency effect. Where the only reason I'm contemplating,
24 and 6.
I don't
in the
even
regular
because
season.
personally, in my opinion, DG's not even the alpha on his
Nah.
niche.
Mm.
I feel like Brunson is the alpha on the Knicks,
He-
regardless
yeah.
of Randall.
He's also 4 years older than him,
Oh.
so you do have to factor
Oh,
that
100%.
in.
Yeah, he's been in the league.
Yeah,
This is his 6th year in the league. This is Garland's 2nd or 3rd.
that's his.
Third.
No, this is
No,
Garland's
this is
fourth.
4th, you're right.
He came in
You're
super
right, it is
young.
4th. Damn, it
I
is
don't
his
know.
4th. I forgot.
Was he Vanderbilt?
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah, he was from
my
Vanderbilt. Yeah,
God.
he was from Vanderbilt. Yeah. Isaac, I still haven't heard the answer.
I'm
from you.
going Brunson. I'm going Brunson.
I'll go Brunson,
I
but
know.
you're gonna.
You had to make it like a versus question.
I'm gonna need you
I know
to.
those.
I
were-
think
Hey,
they both
This was
him.
way tougher.
Danny, I'm gonna need you to clip this and put it to remind us in 4 years when DG's 26, so we can make a more accurate comparison. Or at
DG's
least maybe when DG's like
got a-
24.
when he's
I
got a
feel
ring.
like I don't know, bro, because they both did.
Yeah, but here I'm
I
just
go
saying.
Brunson because I showed.
I just think when you look at
I think
10, if you
if
go
you took
10
both
games,
of them out of this series, I think the Cavs sweep it. I think it hurts the Knicks more to take
Correct.
Brunson out than it does
Yeah,
to
they
take
Yeah,
missed the
I
playoffs.
can see
and
that.
Garland out.
I
same
can see
thing that they
that.
had last year.
That's what
I
I'm
that's
just think
my
when
thing,
you look
'cause, like-
at when you look at 10 games out of 10, who's going to be the best player on the Cavaliers? It's probably going to be Donovan Mitchell 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a Mobley game in there too.
Yeah.
One player too. It's like
But when you look at the Knicks, I think you're going to get a lot more games where Jalen Brunson is going to be the number 1 or 2
Yeah.
guy. If he's not number one, he's right behind
Randall.
Randall, and that's when Randall's shooting 5, 6, 7
Julius.
threes. I mean, RJ Barrett might have a game in there where he's hot shooting, but I think Brunson is the leader overall,
Damn it,
number one
Dan.
on that team. But that was that versus
Yeah.
was tough.
Yeah.
That was a great one. Damn it, Dan. You made me pick against somebody. I got Brunson.
All right.
I do fucks with GG though.
He'll kill it. Yeah, I fuck with BG a lot. You know, he the one reason the Cavs. I mean, they got into the play on that shit, but
Mhm.
All right.
That was good.
he
Danny. I
all-star
like
last
that.
year too. Man, shit.
Well,
Brunson
well,
closed games.
Bring
that-
bring that
I gotta
in.
go him.
We'll bring that in though. Definitely for the NFL. That'll be
Hey,
that'll
next
be good.
week, you should, or we should have one coming up and towards the end of the first round. See who based on who's performed the best, who's hit.
Yeah, I'm down for it. But yeah, so what we got next, bro?
I'm gonna just run a quick question that kind of was running through my head. You guys know I'm a big fan of playoff basketball, but I can't stand the regular season because it's just inflated stats. So I'm just curious about what your guys' opinion is on this. So there was 5 or so first round injuries, at least to
Tyler,
major players.
Ja, AD, and who else?
Gobert,
Well,
Anthony
a
Edwards is dealing with
yeah,
some
those were both residual though, right? From regular season injuries.
and playing games.
Yeah.
Gobert was
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, Gobert got suspended for one of them.
Gobert and
right, but he picked it up in the
Yeah.
in the second game.
Yeah, because he had they said
Yeah, he was
initially
already
Gobert
coming-
had back spasms.
Yeah, he had already
initially for
been
the.
coming
I don't know. I'm
back
just
from
saying.
some
I'm
injuries.
curious. I guess. Do you guys think these are more freak injuries, or do we feel that this is my opinion is that the more lackluster, not so physical regular season, where it's just kind of more this up and down shooting threes. There's not more clanging and banging that you see come postseason. Is that not getting these guys geared up for the playoffs?
I feel like if you look
I
at the
don't know.
injuries, a lot of them are freak things. Like obviously, and the harder play is going to result in these, like Giannis's fall,
I,
Ja's fall.
And that's where I was going to go with it. Is guys don't take charges
Well-
like that in the regular season.
Yeah, they're not.
So
putting their
now these
bodies on
guys
the line
aren't-
like that.
They're not
But
learning constantly how to brace for impact like
Yeah,
that. So you
but
see Ja
it
takes
is
But also,
ultimately a
like that.
freak injury.
but
at
you
the end
gotta
of the
ask
day.
somebody. I still think I don't feel like it's more about the lackluster play in the season. Like prime example, like Tyler Hero breaking his hand was just because Tyler Hero doesn't learn for a whole 82 games prior to the season, even the playoffs even starting or playing. He didn't dive on a damn loose
I was
ball.
about to say.
And he
I was
like,
I
I'm a
watched
dive.
that.
Yeah,
like,
he don't know how to
don't
dive,
play-
and he dove into old boy's ankle.
I don't
watched
think you
that
can
and I
learn how
still
to
don't
dive.
understand
That's
how
he
just
does
hard.
use hands.
Like you find, no, I don't know. That's just being soft. You just go for the
Guys
ball.
that
That's
dive
all that is.
consistently, do they ever get hurt?
But that's when I look at Ja and them. I feel like Ja's injury more of how he plays. Like that's how I look
Yeah.
at that.
100%.
I think Giannis is more like how he plays. That those two injuries came based off normal plays they've been making all season. Those are guys who play very hard in the regular season.
Yeah, and they fall hard in the regular season. They
Fall
just
hard
got
in the regular
unlucky.
season. Yeah, they just got.
Well, that's the thing.
unlu-
Yeah, it's the question, the freak injury portion.
Yeah, I think that those are two out of freak injuries. Yeah, Tyler Hero is more like a lackluster play throughout the season. Like you ain't diving a loose ball all year.
Mhm.
Like that's where it falls to that. Like the more hustle plays, but like those two falling out the air, that's how they play already.
Mhm.
Ain't no everybody tried to take charge. Not Giannis normally stepping around you in the regular season.
I mean, to
Ja
me,
trying to dunk
it's
over and through you normally.
so like I think it's more so a lackluster play during the regular season, kind of where C's was getting that, because if you look at it, like now, really with the top players, it's about holding their minutes to a certain extent. Obviously, for certain coaches and players, we can use like Jimmy Butler, we can use the Knicks as an example, because they're going to consistently play like 40 minutes, 60-70% of the season, no matter who the starters are. But like now, all of a sudden, like a Rudy Gobert with back spasm, you got him playing almost 40 minutes a game because you're cutting your bench almost in half. Same thing for all these other players. Same thing with Anthony Edwards. He's going through a shoulder injury, doesn't have that extra time to rest. Still playing him about 40-45 minutes, and
'Cause you got
where
choice.
they're at. You have no choice. So
That wasn't like that's
it
I
just
don't
comes
think
down
that's
to
lax.
to
I
me.
don't
It
think
just
the
comes down
sand
to where like these players are not built right now
They're
for
not
the playoffs.
conditioned the way that some of the other guys like a Kawhi or a Jimmy Butler. I think
Yeah.
Giannis, I agree. I do think Giannis and Ja were pretty
But-
freak injuries.
Yeah.
LeBron, the guys who have been there consistently are
Like, for me,
conditioned
like
to
a
play
Rudy
those type of
backspasm.
minutes.
Yeah, And I feel like this is more of what you do in the offseason. Like, this is way different than the AD situation, in my opinion, for like Rudy Gobert. I don't feel like Rudy trains as hard as he did this season heading in. I feel like Rudy came in out of shape a little bit. So when you get towards the end of the year, yes, you're gonna deal with some back spasms because you was BSing all year. I don't feel like that's
Yeah, but at the
lackluster
same
play.
time, that can come down to
That's
where all of a sudden they need
body.
him. That can come down all of a sudden where they need him, but like now
Right.
all of a sudden he's asked to do all this, but he can't
Yeah.
physically.
You
Like his
coulda
body
ramped-
just
you
can't
coulda
keep up with
ramped
it.
them up at the end of the season. You could have started ramping. Same thing Kawhi did.
Yeah,
Same thing
same.
like they started doing with Jamal Murray. You could have
Mhm.
ramped them up towards the end of the season, pushing 35, 40 minutes, sat them the last week or so to rest them. But at least now they've learned and conditioned and played this kind of more intense basketball going in. I mean, it's a huge, you guys have seen it. It's a huge physicality.
It's a
bump.
huge, yeah, it's a huge
It's
difference.
so much
but like you
different.
see it with players that can that you know that they're gonna perform in the playoffs that play the same. Like Kawhi, whenever he plays, to me, he does play the same. Obviously, he started slow because of the injuries and he wasn't playing it back to backs. Yada yada yada. But we know what kind of player he is when it comes to the playoffs and how many minutes he can actually handle. Same thing with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is conditioned and plays the same way throughout the regular season, no matter
Steph
if he's a
Curry.
little bit injured. Steph. Clay, when he ramped up, look how many minutes he was playing. You can point to all these players that were playing these huge amount of minutes, but we're not getting affected by it. Yeah, fatigue is always going to come, but those little ticky-tack injuries, it's just I don't think they're built for what they're trying to accomplish, except for obviously the certain players that we name.
Yeah, I think it's been fine for like the guys who already are physical players, who guys
Yeah.
like you made the Jaren Jackson point. Like
Yeah.
he's already a physical, heavy contact type of player.
Mhm.
So he's someone who I don't think is really going to slow down or falter very much.
Hmm.
I mean, he's not on the
Yeah.
court as much as he is probably going to be in this
Yeah.
playoff series, but
Yeah.
again, he's a freak of nature athlete.
Yeah.
But
Like,
and that's
he's
the thing
he's an
too.
anomaly there.
That goes back to your point is like it's very few players because obviously like we've seen more so a lot of role players getting injured and things like that. Tyler Heroes is a freak injury, but again, it's like that just happens. But I just think it's somewhere because you're not really taking the regular season as serious as they should be. Maybe this mid-season tournament that's starting next year maybe might change that. Same way as the play-in has changed that for bad teams that they still have a chance to make the playoffs. But again, I just don't think we'll ever really know.
I'm not sure, man. I'll be honest with you, just because the guys we like that are hurt in this first round, outside.
But
of
again,
the,
it's only one game that's
Yeah.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
But like out of the 3 out of the 5 guys that were hurt, we just agreed they were freak injuries in a sense.
I only said
If
2.
you look at well, you got 2 with me, but like I think Heroes was more like a lackluster thing. But to say like Rudy's was lackluster, no, these motherfuckers been fighting for a playoff spot the whole year, so they've been
Mhm.
low key fighting. He played 70 of the 82 games.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta look
Anthony
at
but you
Edwards
can
don't
try-
even like.
You can check
Anthony
in for
Edwards-
10-20 minutes and play a game.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to look at also like back spasms are a thing that you know. If you look throughout
Yeah.
the NBA, every team has a player miss time with back spasms throughout the season.
Mhm.
It's just bad timing for Rudy with them coming up. And from
It's
what I
tough.
understand, they're not like it's one of those things
Like-
where it's like it's just a little bit of pain tolerance and like what you can actually
Like-
feel like you can do.
Yeah, and like
So-
we can't say Anthony Edwards. That's wear and tear in a sense.
Yeah.
That boy been playing hard. We talking about the guy who calling out load management. He been busting his ass. That's why he
Boy,
hurt.
23, he shouldn't even be hurt.
Just trying to
But
say.
that's why I feel like it's more like how you treating your body in the off season in a sense. Like we was talking about AD not getting a full off season and shit. That's like what are you doing in your off season? Because you know what you have to do when you come into the regular season. Like you know the
Mhm.
load you need to be carrying. You know what you need to be doing. Like Rudy ain't played less than 30 minutes since February 2020, like February 24th or some shit like that. Like until his back spasms kicked in. Like that's the thing with that. Like it's more like I feel like it's more, in my opinion. I'm not saying I think you all made great points. I just think it's
Mhm.
more like what are you doing in the off season? Like you
Okay.
all have been in the league too long to be understanding. Like it's an 82 game season. Like Kawhi understands. Like I can't play back to backs like that. So I'm not gonna play back to backs. I don't
Right.
care what you
Uh-huh.
all say or anything. I'll be
Mhm.
ready when that last month come up though, because I know what I need to do to get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what
he
it comes
even
down
that
to.
man even played the first half of a game and then sat the second half to play the next night of a back to back.
Like that's things like those are things where I'm like, yes, like I would like to see it. I don't want Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards not gonna sit down. Like I would like to see him get a load
Yeah,
management.
you gotta.
Just
He's
carry
somebody
so
you have
much.
to protect from himself
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I see. I feel like it's more of that. Like
So you're
more
feeling
like,
just more overall preparation
Yeah.
before the start of the season.
like if Tyler
Okay.
Hero dove on loose balls throughout the season, he prepared his
If
body
he
by the
played and tried harder, I feel like in general,
Just-
he's not
yeah,
that type
like,
of guy.
yes.
Yeah.
Like that's not the type
Exactly.
of player he is. And then he's just-
Exactly.
you dive like that, your hand.
and that's
gets
why he was
caught.
struggling a little bit.
Bro, he did make a 3 on that broken hand though. That was pretty impressive. I
Yeah.
can't lie.
Yeah.
Little push shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just tough though in general, man. It's just tough because it's gonna be a lot of ticky-tack injuries. And again, like V was alluding to, these playoffs, like so far, especially in the Golden State and Sacramento series so far, physical. I
And
like
that's
it.
what I'm gonna say too. It's this. We're only in game
Well,
1
yeah.
and 2. How many times constantly throughout a series? No offense to you, Isaac, but the Suns when they had their run, they were facing teams that were missing 2-3 guys.
Yeah.
You could say the same thing for like the Bucks when they won theirs. They were facing some teams that like every time you get into a postseason, there's
Yeah.
always pick up knocks.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if there's a way that in the regular season, or in Isaac's point, in the off season, is there ways that guys need to
I
get
mean,
their bodies
I think
built
there's
up for the physicality?
I think there's
But-
two
and that's-
things that the outside that the league can do to help.
Because I
That's
definitely,
one-
I personally don't think the regular season is helping.
No,
I don't
it-
think it's helping.
it's-
Well, I
guys
think the
get
new
ready.
rule
much
change changed with that 65 game minimum. That
Well-
is going to be interesting for us, at least with the heavy hitters, not much of the role players, but I think
Yeah,
more so
'cause-
the heavy hitters.
Because now you can sit. In my opinion, I still think as much of it as it is a problem, you still need load management.
Yeah.
Why? In my opinion, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the hell Jordan them had in their water back then, and when they was knocking out these games like this, because they was beating the shit out of each other. But when you look at our guys now, I just
Secret
feel like,
stuff.
if you looking through that whole 82 game
Yeah,
season,
Molly
guys are
Howard.
breaking down too fast for me.
Yeah.
So like, yes, and I feel like load management and letting them do what they need to do. Like the 65 game thing is great. Why? I need you to hit this 65 game max, but you still can sit out about 17 other games.
Yeah, they'll still be able to find a way around that.
Yeah.
You still
Yeah.
can find a way to sit out 17 more games. So
Yeah.
still, I still think factoring load management is going to be key. I just think when it's like these national televised games or like, I don't know how to stop load management, but it's not going to go away.
What's
Because
not?
I
No,
think
I
it
think
should. I think
One thing you can do to limit it is limit the reasons for having load management, right? You look at the NBA schedule, right? You play every team in your own division 4 times. You play every team in the other conference twice, and then you have a mix of some teams in your conference you play twice and some you play 3 times.
Correct.
Yep.
Why is it? Let's shorten the division series, cut a game from each out.
yeah,
play 3,
divisions
so
that
then-
don't even matter.
Also,
because the
yeah, but
conference
if you're gonna
have
play, if you
issues.
want to have the divisions mean something, make them 3 games so you have an outright series winner no matter what.
Right.
Right. Take out that 3rd game for TV scheduling that you're doing, right? There's no reason the Bulls need to play the Hawks 3 times every season and not be able to play against some of these worst teams, right? 3 times. It's I mean, even though
We'd
the Hawks
probably
are,
lose to them.
well, yeah,
I'd rather play the
Yeah.
better teams.
Yeah,
we
we-
play better
we'd
against
probably
them.
be better.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
not, yeah, but then also
You
too,
can
like,
you can shave games that like you can shave. I
and
think
that's why I fall into it. Like,
7,
I don't
8
know
games
with
like
that part. And the reason why I ain't even like propose that just because of who I like, what I like.
Mhm.
I'm real traditional with shit. So
Yeah.
like when you tell me cut it, I've been watching 82 games for so long.
Yeah.
And the only reason we can't do 82 games is because I got a bunch of guys who didn't want to take care of their body.
Yeah,
throughout
right.
Man,
the-
I don't know
throughout
that
the off-
66 game lockout season. The
Time out.
Bulls.
Look. If LeBron can spend
That was crazy.
200-some million on his body,
Yep.
why can't AD do that? Why can't Kawhi somebody?
It's-
Why can't
At that
Anthony
point, that's
Edwards-
just mentality. That's
Yeah.
just mentality.
But that's-
But that's what
That's
that's
where
what separates
where
the
I'm-
greats from the goods.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
what
all.
separates why we can't get 82 games and you playing almost every night compared
Yeah.
to some people who will play you all these other nights.
I mean,
That's why.
but I mean, LeBron. I think LeBron wouldn't have made that 65 game threshold this season, would he?
No,
No.
no.
That's a guy who spends 200 million on his body. So reality is
And he
the
did
game
fuck his
is
ankle.
just tough.
That
Yeah.
was a bad one.
Yeah, the game is tough on the body. It's very easy to damage yourself playing basketball because you're always jumping up and coming down. It's too easy.
Too,
But-
a lot of guys nowadays, I think people sleep on just how truly athletic and
Yeah.
big and muscular and quick twitchy these guys are.
Yeah.
Like when you're moving at such high speeds with that much muscle, shit's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, they're
You're
pushing
gonna
their
tweak
bodies
some
to
wrong.
stuff.
levels
Yeah.
that don't.
You're jumping 40 in the air and you're 250. Like you're gonna land, you're gonna tweak your knee, you're gonna hurt your hammy, you're gonna pop some.
Yeah,
you're
like-
clanging down there, you're
Like,
gonna hurt a
I tweak
shoulder,
my
an arm, a
knee-
wrist.
I tweak my knee getting out of bed some days.
These dudes
so-
are huge
Yeah, like, but-
nowadays
yeah, and
compared
that's
to
what-
what they were.
A lot of these injuries come from not preparing that body to me, and that's
Right. And that's where
Like
I
a
agree with your
Zion-
point. When you're so much gifted athletically, they choose not to, I feel like, because they're so gifted. Whereas if you
and that's the
pair
that's
your
why, like,
preparation with how much of your natural ability you have is where you get Giannis, you get LeBron, you get Kawhi. That's where you get these crazy guys
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
who are ready and willing to play it through June. The
Mhm.
Steph Curry's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you dropped the mic with that last statement. I like that. You know, you
That's
got
pretty
me.
good,
yeah.
man.
that was a good set.
Flowed. That flowed, bro.
That was good, bro. That's
Yeah.
good.
That was
That's all.
good.
Hey, that's all I got. I just curious where y'all at. I think we kind of got there in the end.
Mhm.
We all had different little stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that they can be done. Players got to, take their off season more serious. Okay, could definitely work to shorten the season a little bit. Like, I'm not even talking about drastic.
Something I
You
I
can-
don't even know.
you
if that
can
has to
shave
be
off,
shortened as
you know,
much as
7, 8
something just needs to
games
change. 'cause
without
it's-
a
Yeah,
problem.
you added an in-season tournament. Like
Yeah.
there's no
that's
incentive.
worse to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess it's regular season games, right? They still are like they're not extra games unless you go to the final and then you're playing.
Bro, it's like the
83rd.
WNBA Commissioner Cup.
There's just
Yeah,
no incentive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
you're
They
a
play
team
20
like,
something games, bro.
yeah. I just feel like if you're a team like Golden State or LA, you're okay losing 20 games because you don't care about the regular season.
Yeah, as long as you,
You
make
only
the
care
playoffs,
about
you know.
making the playoffs.
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, and I can see if you shorten, you can make, you low key can emphasize winning a little bit more than playing harder if you shorten the games. But I just
Yeah.
don't like, I don't
Yeah,
like switching.
the less games
Isaac,
there
I
are,
know
the
you
more
don't like
each
it.
one
I'm
means.
telling you though, if you got
It'll
playoff
work.
basketball for 60 games, dude, come on now. I'm on
I
it.
take it. You're not lying. I take it. It's
You get
probably
the
gonna be-
intensity we're seeing in these
Yeah,
playoffs.
Like think about the last 2
like
weeks
maybe
of the
the
season.
first
But
2
then
to
that's
3
why I
weeks
go-
are slow or month or slow because guys are ramping up. But when you start, you go, oh shit, we just went on a 2-10 stretch. We're sitting this far behind the top 6.
Mhm.
Now
Yeah.
you gotta go.
Yeah, and
I
then
get
you're
what
like,
you mean.
oh, we
'Cause
don't
there's
have.
not 60 games left, there's 40 games left.
Yeah,
Now you
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah, I get you.
yeah, and I'm not asking them to do something crazy like remove all the like. There's just little things they can do to chop games out, and they can do it gradually, right? They can say, hey. We're gonna make it 3 division games instead of 4, and we're gonna take out the extra game.
Yeah.
So you only play 2 games against every team that's not in your division.
Baseball's the same way for me too. I'd be okay with them shortening that.
Yeah, 162
There's a
is
lot of
absurd.
times-
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, you don't need over 100 games. I don't
There's
hear
a
that.
lot of times I go and see a freaking Wednesday game at noon, and I'm looking through the lineup, and I'm like, what?
Exactly.
And I'm looking at like a freaking Mets Braves game, and I'm like, who?
Well, with MLB, I feel like I'd be okay with like a one. I feel like I'd be okay with like a 144,
120.
I was literally gonna say
120. Okay.
Oh,
Takes
I
away-
take that
take
low,
away
but-
2 months.
There's so many games.
yeah,
Honestly,
ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
I
agree
get
with
it.
that.
They
Yeah,
need
I get
They
it.
need the games because there's so many. Baseball's just a way different sport. But
Yeah.
They don't need
I get you.
162.
160 is a lot, dude.
Yeah. Oh, we got anything else though, fellas, before we finish it out today?
The only
Oh,
thing I
Clippers.
saw the only thing I saw here before we started recording was that I don't know if y'all saw this, but Pat Bev said he wants to stay in Chicago, but he's also looking to get paid. And he's
Ain't
Who
looking
paying him?
he's looking for
Yeah.
13 to 15 million a year.
Yeah, he ain't getting that. He gonna be in Chicago next year.
I'm sorry, buddy. You had 0 points in the play-in against the Heat. Yeah, no.
You the
And
reason,
they don't act like you
you
didn't
the
have
reason,
looks.
Pat Bear, you the reason we lost because we should have kept Kobe White in that damn game. All right,
Bro,
that's all I gotta
that
say.
was tough. Not even
I
that.
do-
He took minutes from Kobe, but he took minutes from Pat Will.
Yeah.
That's what
Mhm.
killed me. That's
Everybody
what
I
killed me. Pat
hated,
Bev's in your
you gonna
closing
be
lineup?
down
Are
the
you kidding
stretch.
me? Are you kidding me?
And I can understand
hate it.
if he's having a good
No,
game
stop it.
and putting him in the closing lineup, but you cannot
If he's
say-
hitting his
Yeah,
threes,
if he's having a good
when
game.
is that?
Yeah, that's
That
it.
one
yeah.
that one game against Miami, like 3
That
weeks
time.
ago.
There
a
ain't
month
no
ago.
reason
Everybody had a
6'9",
good game.
7-foot wingspan.
Exactly.
P-Dub should not be in
Yeah.
your closing lineup.
Yeah, but especially when you
Who's
have
shooting
issues
41%,
from the
is super
from
consistent.
I will do it
or
100%
super,
of this.
efficient.
If you give me 10 tries, I will take it 10 times with the same scenario. I'm not taking Kobe White out of that fourth quarter.
No,
Let
he
him
was
lock
light. He was lights out.
The
in that
sub
game.
you was supposed to make was to take Vooch weak ass out and put Drummond in the game. At least
He was
he was
also
rebounding,
dominating.
who was moving Bam. Bam had like 15. You won't get 15 like that on fucking Andre Drummond. Like, no. And Pat Will was even doing his thing. No. Billy, you screwed that up, bro.
He did.
And they gonna extend Billy.
well, no, he got extended last summer.
No, Billy need to go.
All right,
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
can't-
rough, man.
run us
But-
out.
Yeah, no
Danny.
more of this.
Yeah, outro us. We don't need last week's shambolic situation.
I know. I
Oh, yeah,
I heard
clean
that
that up,
was.
bro.
I
Clean
heard
that
that
up.
was. I heard that was pretty good. But I did actually like put a good ending on it. Like you're like, we're done. Like kind of lined up really well. If you listen to, I got you. But
They're
No,
closed out.
But thank you guys though for tuning in. This was, what was it, 46? We're
46.
four away from
Yeah.
number 50. Getting
6 away
close.
from a year's worth.
Yeah, we actually uploaded our first episode on May 12th or 13th. I have to double check. So might actually like hit that with our
Spot on, almost.
might be spot on. Yeah, we'll be over by that by the 16th. So, but we'll still be around the same time. But thank you guys again for tuning into episode number 46.
We're on
Check out our YouTube videos again. Full episodes will be uploaded on there. Just so that way you can see a lot of our reactions instead of having to listen to us on any podcast platform that you guys listen to in the car or anything like that. And then check out our TikTok, check out our Instagram. We've been doing well. We took a little bit of a break there for a couple of weeks, but now we're starting to ramp up back the videos. Gotta get the algorithm right. You know what I'm saying? Gotta try and find it again and get that 11K video back up. But other than that though, thank you all again for tuning in. See you guys next week for number episode 47. Again, we're gonna do more of a recap for the games going in the playoffs. It's gonna be some more NFL news, I'm sure, coming up. Obviously, the Jalen Hurts one we'll get to next week. Kind of go more in depth with that.
Oh, yeah, we got the draft coming next week too. So
Yeah.
we'll talk
9 days.
some draft stuff.
Yeah. So we'll be all up to date with that. So it'll probably be a little bit of a longer episode as we kind of get more in depth with it. But again, thank you all for tuning in. See you guys next week. Number 47. Have a good rest of the week.
Bryce Young,
Hey.
first pick.